Today on Divorce Court.
I'm here today because my husband doesn't think my 2-year-old daughter is his.
When I first met Tyler, she was more outgoing. Now she's just an 80-year-old woman that wants to stay inside all day.
I want the judge to tell Alex to stop drinking. Tell him pretty much how real this is, how big the drinking, how big of an issue it is.
Yes, I like to go have fun and drink, but I'm only 21. I'm still young.
Alex, I want you to grow up and stop drinking and treat your family like we deserve to be treated.
Divorce Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Tyler Seniseros and Alex Seniseros. The two of you, God love you, both 21. You have been married for 2 years, together for 6 years. You have 2 children, and there's a question as to the paternity of the first, so I have a DNA test because you're not altogether sure that's your baby. But I'm going to start with you, Mrs. Seniseros. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you two are here in divorce court today?
Well, we met in high school, and we were just high school sweethearts, and went good. And then after high school, we got pregnant. We got back together. We were broken up for like 6 months, and we got back together, got pregnant, and then, well, the baby came out, and that's when he said he didn't think it was his because she was white.
Why do you think the baby was yours?
Because she was with an ex before we were together, obviously, and like 2 weeks after we were together, she was pregnant, and the baby turned out to be looking just like her ex. Well,
The baby looks like her ex?
Oh, nothing like me.
Doesn't look like you.
Yeah, white, blonde hair, blue eyes. And I'm not white, blonde hair, or blue eyes.
But I am.
Yeah. My 2-year-old looks pretty identical to me. But
You know, they all look
4 months
different.
old.
Genetics, it's really interesting. I got, look just like her. Just like her. But you don't think it looks like you?
No.
Ego is a killer.
I think she looks just like him.
Yeah, ego is a killer. But anyway, what's the problem now?
The problem now, I would say, is his drinking. Just about a few months ago, he actually came home. We got into a fight. He came home, wanted to go to the bar. I said, no, don't go. Of course, he went. And he turned his phone off, and he stayed there till about 5 a.m. He came home. His mom brought him back home like 5 a.m. And a few days later, he actually told me that, because I asked where his wedding ring was, he didn't have it. And he said that he threw it out the window on the way to the bar and said, I won't be needing this anymore. So.
Mr. Seniseros, did that happen?
It did. I came home from work after a 70-hour week.
Right.
70 hours of working all week. Tired, stressed out. I wanted to go out with her, but she never wants to go out. And she told me if I go out, then we're done. So I went out anyways, assuming that we're done. That's why I threw my wedding ring out the window, because we were done anyways. I had no intention on coming back.
You know how silly that is, right? You know, everybody, I hate you, you're a jerk, you know.
Yeah.
Ms. Seniseros, did he ask you to go out with him that night? Is that how that started?
Yeah. I mean,
his contention is he'd love to go out places with you, but you won't go.
Yeah, no. Well, just the way he acts, I just don't like being around him when he drinks. It's just, it always turns into a fight. It's always just miserable. He just becomes like a vulgar person when he drinks, and I just don't like being around it. Yeah, it's just not.
Are you a difficult drunk to be with?
Not my friends don't think so. My family doesn't think so.
Yeah. So you don't think you're a cranky drunk?
No, not at all.
You get into fights?
I think I get loose.
Well, and then what happens when you're loose?
I tend to speak what's on my mind.
Okay, so he starts a little trouble here and there?
Sometimes it can.
Yeah, a lot of cursing and carrying on going on?
That's just me on a daily basis.
Anyway, it just gets more.
But yes.
It gets more. Do you understand why she doesn't want to go out with you? If you drink and get kind of ludicrous a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. My understanding is, let me ask you, you say, though, drinking or no drinking, she never wants to go out. Why don't you explain that to me?
She's pretty much like an 80-year-old woman that just wants to stay inside 24/7, just wants to be stuck inside the house because of her. She's just always. I just don't feel like she wants to have time with me.
Right.
Me and her have fun time, I guess.
Are you fun to be with, or do you like to just stay in the house and not do anything? Nothing wrong with it, but
I think
just
I'm
asking.
fun in the house.
You want to have fun in the house.
Yeah,
but
but
you
I
don't
think
want to
I'm-
go out of the house.
No, I get really like anxious in social settings. So a lot of the times I think that even when we do go out, it kind of kills it, and then we end up fighting over that
where
if
all
it's
our
not the
fights start.
drinking.
Where?
Whenever she starts freaking out,
Does she freak out a lot?
yeah,
When she does, what happens?
it stresses me out. And
Well, what does she go? What does she physically do when she gets stressed out? when
just
she
starts
freaks out?
panicking and just moving around fast, just pacing, and just wants to get out of there and just get out of people's visions, I guess, in their eye view.
So, you don't like being in crowds. You don't like being out amongst a lot of people. Have you always been like that?
No, I think after I had my first daughter, the 2-year-old, Addison, it got worse just because I'm a mom now. Like if something happens, something goes down, I can't be in the mix. I want to be safe at home with her, knowing everything's okay.
But were you always anxious? It's just been worse since you've had a baby, but...
No, not really. I feel like in high school I was fun. I was kind of let loose.
Do you see your response to a whole lot of people as a problem? Do you?
Yeah, I see. I mean,
It's something
for
you would like to
myself.
do something about.
Yeah, but I feel like when we're not together, I guess, like we were separated for like 3 weeks, and I feel like I got more out of my shell for some reason. I wasn't scared to do things. It's kind of like he's almost like a comfort zone.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's like a hard thing too for me.
Right.
So it's, I guess on my own, I'm a little bit more out of my shell.
Because
I
you
don't
have to.
something
You have
to hide
to do
behind.
things, right? Yeah. Do you see all that going on, or you just think she's boring?
I see it going on, but most of the time, she is a little bit boring.
Thanks.
Doesn't really want to go out.
We saw a lot about your anxiety in here, and anxiety is a problem that a lot of people have. So we've brought an expert in here to talk a little bit about the nature of your anxiety and what you can do about it.
She has anxiety taking her medicine. She won't take it because she's scared to choke on it. So
Yeah.
Therapy.
if you don't take
You're
the medicine-
going there. You're on the edge of, woo, this is gonna really interrupt my life. Because I've
Yeah.
been there. Mrs. Seniseros, you are anxious and you have difficulty leaving the house. And I don't want you to live in a shell of anxiety. So we've brought someone here. Her name is Spirit. She is a certified forensic mental health expert of T2S Enterprises. I am so sorry. And I want you to, hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
It's
How are
always
you,
good to
Judge?
see you.
Always good to be seen.
Tell us a little bit about anxiety, panic attacks, and what you can do about it.
Yeah, well, you know, the interesting thing, Judge, is that panic attacks or anxiety disorders, they're not all just in your head. They're actually in your body. And that's why when she's going out and she wants to hurry up and get away from the crowds and she doesn't want to be seen, it's because she's having physical symptoms.
What is the best thing to do if you know you're an anxious person and having difficulty getting out of the house or doing everything you want to do?
Treatment. It requires treatment. And unfortunately, less than 40% of those that suffer with anxiety disorders actually get help. They get worse over time. So that's why maybe years ago, after you had the baby and you noticed something wasn't quite right, and now it's to the point where you don't want to go out, it will only get worse. And so I really suggest that when you get home, you seek care. I know you're dealing with the medication part, but the other part of that is the talk therapy to get to the source of the worry, to get to the source of the fear, and to give you the coping skills that you need in order to beat anxiety once and for all.
Okay.
You can do it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much,
My
Spirit. I
pleasure.
appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Now, do you understand what we're talking about over here?
Yeah.
You do? You get it? Do you kind of think it's just something she needs to get over, or do you realize it's a real disorder?
No, it's
Like-
a real disorder. I realize that.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out a way to help. Where I can help.
Right, yeah.
By not complaining.
Probably can't. What?
Happens. I said by not complaining when
Well,
it happens.
If you can
Maybe
take
that
your
would help.
medicine. She has anxiety taking her medicine. She won't take it because she's scared to choke on it. So
Yeah.
Therapy. I mean, you know what I mean? Therapy, because
you don't take
you're
the
going
medicine.
there. You're on the edge of, whoo, this is going to really interrupt my life. Because I've
Yeah.
been there. I've been right on that little edge. You know, you can come back from it. It's so nice when you're not on that edge anymore.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm going to change gears all together. You believe he's cheating on you, correct?
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
There was actually a time when he went hunting with a family member, and he actually admitted to picking up on a girl and said that the only reason that I guess it didn't go through was because her husband walked up. Yeah, and the family member and friends that they were with actually took girls back to the trailer, and they were having intercourse in the trailer, and he slept in the cab of the truck while it was all happening.
Mr. Seniseros, is that what happened?
Yeah, I passed out in the cab. And I was playing pool. It was
Right.
me and this girl playing pool, and then my family member and this other guy playing pool. And we're on
Right.
teams. And we're such good teammates, and I bought her a drink.
And
And
then
then that was it.
my understanding, Mr. Seniseros, is that you treat the two children that you have differently because of the concerns that you have over the paternity of the older one. And I want to talk about that. Take that over there and show 'em. So, Mr. Seniseros, does he actually treat your children differently based on his belief that one of them, the older one, is not his?
I think so, yeah.
Give me some examples that would show me why you believe that.
Well, just the other day, they were both with us. I mean, he was sitting on the couch playing with our 4-month-old Alexis and laughing and playing with her, and our 2-year-old walked up and was showing him, I don't remember what she was saying, but she had food in her hand, and she's supposed to be eating in the kitchen, but at that time, she was just telling him something. And instead of, like, acknowledging, like, what she was saying or, like, showing her, like, the emotion that he was showing the 2-year-old or the 4-month-old, he kind of just told her, like, oh, go in the kitchen, like, finish eating. It was kind of like he
He
picked
dismissed
out,
her?
Yeah, like what she's doing bad instead of what she's doing good, like what she's trying to actually, like, show him.
Now, step back for a moment and ask yourself, is he constantly treating her differently, or is he beginning to discipline her because she's 2 and they need to start hearing about what it is they're not supposed to be doing?
I mean, yeah, I just think he disciplines her too much to the point where he doesn't show her even when she's doing good. Like, he doesn't give her that reassurance that she's doing good. It's always just bad, 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 is like when he points it out to her only. It's never like, oh,
Mr.
you're doing that
Seniseros,
good.
does he have that right, or are you just trying to?
No, I discipline her because she needs discipline, and she will not do it. And I point out
Are
the
you
good
being
things with
lax
her.
over there, Mr. Seniseros?
Oh, my
do
goodness.
you let her do anything?
I mean, not anything.
Anything.
She has rules. I just feel bad for her, I think. I have a soft spot for her. She's like more of my friend than my, like,
Oh,
child.
stop that now. Because she'll be 15 in your house with a kid talking about shut up and you don't to boss me. You got to let these people know who's in charge.
Yeah.
And it's got to be you. You're not friends. Is a hierarchy in there. Right? Mama
Yeah.
looked at me funny. You should freeze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a time where she's got to obey you simply because
Yeah.
she can't do anything else. And you got to draw that line for her.
Yeah.
Good for you, Mr. Seniseros.
Yeah, I discipline her. I treat her just about the same, or not just about.
Yeah, you
exactly
can't
the
be as
same.
much fun with a 4-month-old
I can't
as a
discipline the
2-year-old. The
4-month-old.
2-year-old start doing wrong stuff.
But even when she was like a baby, like this one, he doesn't act like the
I was working
same.
nights. All I do is work.
I know, but when
I
you're
never have
home.
time. Yeah,
It's like
Well, do you have real lingering doubts that could subconsciously be tagging at you and bothering you and keeping you from really bonding with the 2-year-old?
yeah. There's little things back in the back of my mind. that
You
do.
really believe it couldn't be yours, don't you?
Yeah, I do. There's a slight chance that it couldn't be mine.
No, I don't think there's any chance, but yeah.
I hear you. Divorce Court will be right back. Mr. Seniseros, you want to know if that baby is yours?
Yes.
I don't want to hear about it ever again after this.
Take that over there and show him. Now, what does that say on there? You the father. You are the father.
Wow. What a surprise.
Sometimes the kids look like the mother, sometimes they look like the father. Sometimes they look like a mix between the two of you. Just because it don't look just like you don't mean it isn't yours. How silly is that?
Makes you feel a lot
Y'all,
better.
what?
Makes you feel a lot better.
Yeah, you should be, and make sure you make up for any missteps that you may have made unconsciously as a function of that little seed of doubt, all right?
Okay.
Having said that, let me say this, Mrs. Seniseros, I used to be a ludicrous individual. Just ludicrous. Took up residence in a closet once. I was only 10, but my mother went in there and said, "Why are you in the closet?" I said, "Because it's not safe out there." I know what anxiety is. I mean, I couldn't fly, couldn't go to parties, couldn't date, couldn't do a lot, couldn't call the pizza man. I don't want to call him, afraid. Just, why would I get in the car if I could stay home?
Yeah.
Why would I risk that if I don't have to go? You don't have to go out. If you have to go to school, I'll go, but if it's unnecessary, why should I?
Yeah.
And that's such a tight way to live.
Yeah.
And it's so, it becomes so dark and it centers in on itself. And your world gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you can't do anything at all.
Yeah.
You have got to go get help. And then nothing wrong. And if you can't take ask the doctor if you can put the pill in some other kind of form. Maybe if it's, I don't know, something. But you have got to work on that like you would work on anything else. Because you want your children to have a solid and sound mother.
Yeah.
And she can't do that without you, okay?
Yeah.
Now, what you need to do in the interim is be supportive.
Yeah.
Love her. I know, you need to go out every once in a while, but you need to be supportive. And she's in a dark, tight spot, and it should matter to you that she's there. And it should matter to you that she's raising your kids, and you should want to be there often enough and sincerely enough and emotionally solid enough to help her be a better person. Help her get the help that she needs. You with me? Yeah. I don't think you're a bad guy at all. You all just got married way too young.
Yeah.
Stop having kids for a minute. Get your act together. Right?
Yeah. We're done for a while.
Yeah, I should hope so. I'm wishing you the best. This matter is adjourned.
So are you hopeful he'll step up now and be a better father to her?
Yeah. I think if he doesn't, he has consequences, so I hope he does.
There you go, you heard it. You got some advice yourself today. Obviously, we're going to deal with this anxiety issue. What's some of the advice you're going to walk away with after hearing from Judge Lynn and the expert today?
Just knowing, how to, I guess, not control it, but get away from it in a way and go to therapy for sure.